support your channel and even okay, learn more. Okay, close. It's
Okay.
for YouTube.
Is the microphone on for the YouTube?
Let me check.
All right. Yeah, it's reading over here. I'm A. You gotta look at that box and see if
Okay.
yours is on, and then see if it's on there, and then we are good. And then you send a notification out, and people know.
Is this supposed to be a light on mine?
If you touch the
Hello.
screen, you should see a flash. If you touch the screen, little button on the side, just tap it.
Which one? This one? There you go.
You don't want to push it because if you push it, then you are.
All right, let me check the YouTube.
Okay, so we're good. All right, so we're in the room. Now the invite thing is not, I don't see it here. I see a co-host button, but I don't see an invite thing. So I'll just see Live Unique came in the room.
You said you don't see an invite. Let me see.
Yeah, it doesn't show it on here. And you said you can't do it from the code, can you?
I can invite.
I don't see an invite people thingy. See co-host, multi-guest. That's when I'm inviting people to come in the room and talk.
It's in the be here. This arrow.
Might be it. Okay, let's see.
WhatsApp, Facebook, Telegram. Copy link. Check that arrow. See. That's it. Usually that's what it looks like, a little arrow.
Yeah, the forward. All right. Well, we're getting set up. You can send out the text messages, I guess. And I'm going.
What about this one right here? It's another arrow. Send. Oh, that's messages.
That's I type a message in the chat. Watch it.
Well, let me do it over here. Invite people.
Okay, so let's see. Anybody in the room? No, yes, you. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so you're sharing it from your spot. Nice. Very good. Look at you at the park. Talking to the new girl. She was just such a natural. Good evening and welcome. There you go. Gotta straighten that out. Stop bothering me with that. See if I can aim that sucker down a little bit more. It's up too high. Come on, down a little bit. That's better. Seeing like more TV on top of my head than I was seeing the actual screen. Well, I wish I could do the claps and the cheers and stuff here. That would be so cool. but I have to stop using TikTok Live. I mean, yes, TikTok Studio. And truthfully speaking, for this, I really don't need it.
Cause you don't have videos.
Right.
So you want to come out? No one's here yet.
If I come
Oh, but
out,
then we shared the live already to everybody.
right. And if I come out, then I have to rearrange it, put the camera on the table so I can see it, or just try to go live from the computer on the regular TikTok. And I think you can do that. I mean, from the computer, from the phone as the camera. So it's water time. And here comes Esther. Esther, I don't have the applause on. It don't come on TikTok Studio. I will give you the clap.
Let me see.
But welcome. Yay! I have to do it my way. Welcome in the room. Welcome in the room. How are you tonight? Great. So I'm on my iPad over here looking at this young lady who came back to the farmer's market and told me that she was looking for her because she got the oil and how good it made her hair feel, and she just like on the spot just took the mic and shared her testimony. I was like, look at Jesus. Nelly, she make you look so short.
I know, right?
I don't know how tall she was, but she definitely had some height. Yes. So anyway, thank you, Esther. It's good to have you. Got some people coming in the room now, and I want to not be absent to them. This is powerful. Talking about what peace looks like, and in business, this is very important. It's very self help, but as you growing in business and life, I try to make sure I mix business and life. You know what I wish I had? Some soft music playing in the back, but I know uh, you're streaming basketball. That's a good name. Okay. Welcome. 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 Who else? Let me see who's in the room. I'll say hi to everybody that I can. Okay, get that out of here.
Somebody Noonie just came
in and back, right back out. Yeah, people popping in and out, so they're not. But here we come. For all of you that are here, welcome. Stay a minute. You're gonna learn some good stuff, Jerome and Vanessa.
Natalie, Kiwi.
Well, you could say out loud.
Yeah. Hi, Natalie. Hey, Vanessa. Hey, Jerome. Thanks for joining. Yeah. Hi, Kiwi. Thanks for joining us.
I like names like that. So we're going to talk about some powerful stuff tonight. We've been, well, first of all, Vision Builders is a coaching mentoring platform that breathes life into your dreams and helps you realize your visions. I would do like what my wife does. She's coming. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I been an entrepreneur for over 35 years. I've done a lot of investing in small businesses and grown a few businesses and definitely grown one business into a 7-figure business, and moved out here to Miami 4 years ago, and I started doing a business about 5 years ago with Live Uniquely, who is now my business partner and wife. And so we came out here with our hair oil, and that's been doing well. And that's going to be another 7-figure business. And so people begin to ask me, well, what did you do? How did you figure this out? And I really didn't have mentors and stuff. I just kind of figured out by making a lot of mistakes and messing up some money. But I can say honestly, the money I messed up pales in comparison to the money that I've been able to make, thank God. And so I get on here and I teach and help. I started, within the church, teaching and sharing the information that I learned to help other people learn how to be successful. And I don't come on here like I'm an expert, like I know all the things about, how to make Bill Gates wealth. I don't. but I know how to get from the hoodie hood to where I am today, and that worked for me, you know. And so any chance I get to share it with the young generation, I take that chance and I do it. And people would have questions, and a lot of people want to be entrepreneurs, and the thought of it is scary to them because they think it's so involved, it's so complicated, and so expensive. And of course, people that are gatekeepers would try to tell you that because they want to make you think, oh, it's so hard, but if you buy my course, blah, 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 blah. Listen, I just literally just finished four books, and two of them just went up on Amazon. They're not ready yet, but they just went up. They have to be approved and released. I did a trademark for, you know, our catchphrase, "You ready? Let's grow." That's taking on a life of its own. I should add that logo to the screen. Wait a minute, let me just do this real quick. So anyway, just want to tell you who I am, what I'm about, and how I got to the place that I am today, and make myself available to answer questions. And what I don't know, I'll tell you. Yeah, I'm not a lawyer. I can't answer that. But what I do know, I can get you on the road and get you started. And if you started and you kind of hit that wall, or you find yourself coming up against a lot of uncertainty, hopefully I can help you navigate through that and help you get your dream to where you want it to be. So let me see, you got some people here tonight. Yeah. So did you shout out everybody?
So yeah, we got Lou Klubin. Nice to see you. Lynn Galante. Gomez Flory, thank you for coming in.
Thank you, everybody.
Alvaro Gonzalez, thank you. Elsa MS, thank you for coming in. Namid, thank you for coming in. Thank you guys for joining our live.
Thank you for tapping. Thank you for sharing. So I picked tonight's topic because, you know, I'm working on my next book, and you know, protect your win or guard your win, and I've been really kind of thinking about opportunities that have come that I've missed because I didn't know what I was looking for, or opportunities that probably would have been great opportunities, but I was a jerk and didn't know how to handle it, and so it slipped away. Because opportunities only work for you when you're prepared. Success comes when opportunity meets preparation, and opportunities only work when you're prepared. So it took me a minute to find out that preparation is not just having your numbers right, not just having your idea together. None of that stuff matters if your personality and your spirit is wrong and you piss people off. And I've had people just say, I can't deal with you. You're a jerk. That doesn't feel good. and big deals, walked out the door on me. So I started to realize it's not all about me. It's about the opportunity. It's about the other people. People do business with you because they are there to win themselves. And I think we have sometimes this mental mindset that it's supposed to be an adoption of sorts. And they're supposed to come in and just fall in love with me and want to take care of me. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Anybody coming in the room with me right now, let me know. I'm gonna open up my notes that I got from the day. And
Lindsay just came in.
Welcome, Lindsay. And these notes that I have today came literally, actually, in prayer time from my wife. This morning, she was doing her thing, and she, we get together every morning. We have our prayer, and she came to me, and she had some thoughts on her mind, and she wanted to share them, and as she does, and she shared some things, and I said, yeah, I want to use these. I want to use these things. So because I felt they were very, very, she's walking through the entrepreneurial journey and learning how finances work, right? Or how to make finances work for you instead of you chasing them all around. And those of you who've been around me a while know that I don't chase finances. And say hi to me and let me know where you're at, where you're from, and definitely invite some people. We appreciate you. And then we're gonna get right at it. But who's in the room right now? Is that Esther?
So yeah,
Yes.
Sent just came in. AE Ministries just came in. Thank you for joining our live.
Welcome. Like I said, Vision Builders is a coaching and mentoring platform. Helps you breathe life into your dreams and helps you realize your vision. Um, Came from total poverty, welfare, whatever. And what was it, 19? I think when I got evicted and I was homeless, it was 1994. 1994. And by 2000, I was financially independent. And by 2006, I had crossed the mark of seven figures. So it was a process, but I learned so much in that process, doing a lot of things. But the things I like to share is how to avoid some of the landmines. And even though I can teach you everything I know, you're still going to step in some landmines. Why? Because your mindset is still going to say, yeah, but this is what it is. So let me start off by saying this. The best way to ruin your destiny is whine and complain and murmur about a bunch of junk. Or to find yourself friends with or in a community of people who like to complain. No matter what you do, they're never happy. They're never going to be happy, and they'll drag you down with them because they like that. Um, it's funny. I live here now in this luxury complex here on this island in near Miami Beach, and I go in the chat, the group chat, and the people in this building whine and complain just like they're in the hood. Like just everything is a problem, and somebody didn't put the garbage in the incinerator. And I'm like, wait a minute. So you'll make more money, you come up and you're still act the same stupid way? And I realize some people just like misery, and they'll find it wherever it is. And it's usually the same group of people in the chat all the time, that's always finding something to whine and complain about all the time. So the building management team here is wonderful people, beautiful people, and they'll complain about them. And it's funny because I there's never a problem because I have in my apartment that they don't fix like almost immediately, you know. So I don't have all these complaints that people have, but it comes from a grieving spirit. It comes from a person who is just negative without reason. It's like unhappiness almost is their best friend, and if they don't have something to complain about, I've seen people go into relationships like that. And I've heard women say, "Well, I don't want to get his head big, so I don't compliment him." Okay, well then you leave the door open for somebody else to. That's kind of dumb, but it's a philosophy that people live with and walk with. It's sad, but what are you going to do about it? Um, but I'm going to teach you how to protect your peace. But anybody going to come in the room real quick with me? And while we do that, I want to find something real quick. Okay, so you're in the room, so I can't move out of here. But there's something that I want, and the other thing I want to put it up here. Let me see if I can get it up here. Let's get to our notes. Hey Amanda, I see Amanda came in. Welcome, welcome to the live, and we're going to talk about something that I know you guys are going to really love, um, and it's what peace looks like. Did I change the title? Oh no, what not worrying looks like. What not worrying looks like. Um,
Um,
Whatever.
I got
What you got?
it's worrying looks like
It's not worrying.
not not worrying looks like question mark.
Right. Not worrying looks like.
Correct. Yeah.
I didn't put a question mark on mine. I just put it on.
Oh, okay.
Not worrying looks like.
Gotcha. All right.
So not worrying does not mean not caring. And I want to stop on some of these notes. And if you guys ready to get in and want to have a chat with me, you're welcome to jump in. It doesn't mean not caring. And people think that we say, well, I ain't worried about it, it means you don't care. No, you can care, but choose not to worry. It can even touch your heart or concern you, but you can choose not to worry. It's rather choosing not to let anxiety control you. So not worrying is, it doesn't mean you don't care, but you choose not to allow the anxiety to step in and take over. So caring and worrying is two different things. Let's put a balance on that. Um, so let's look at the core pictures of not worrying. Not worrying looks like living in the present moment with reduced fear. So not worrying is you living in the moment right now, not getting too far ahead of yourself, not dwelling on yesterday, but really in the mode of what I have to deal with, I have to deal with in the now, in the moment. Yeah, that's why I'm worried about it. Okay, no, it's different. If you're worried about it, a lot of times you're not solving it, you're pondering the negatives of it. There's a scriptural term called evil foreboding, where it's consuming you. Um, Caring about it is, well, let me see what the processes are that I need to kind of get this thing back on the right track. When you have a business, things will happen, things will go wrong. All of a sudden, you get a phone call, somebody's returning too many products, somebody's threatening to sue. All of these are things that are frustrating and irritating, but they're things that have to be dealt with. And so once you get, and now you find out the person that's trying to sue you is somebody you thought was a friend. Well, now it's got all kind of emotions attached. Now I can go through a whole bunch of stuff at that moment, and I have this kind of stuff happen, and I have to sit down and start the process. Okay, I feel real emotional. I feel angry. I feel frustrated. I'm having thoughts of being a failure. All of these things are coming at me hard. So what do I do now? Okay, I have to stop. I have to take a deep breath and say, okay, how do I solve problem one? And I share this way because it's important. I remember when Nellie first got her apartment, she had this whole bunch of boxes filled with so much stuff that she had in storage for so long. It was bags, boots, books, tablets, shoes. I mean, it was so much stuff. And she just took it and she piled it all in the back room. And it just looked like a mess. And I said, when are you gonna get in there and clean it? And she said, I'm gonna get in there, I'm gonna get in there, I'm gonna get in there. And months went by. So finally I came to her and I said, why aren't you doing this? And it dawned on me, when she looked at it, it promoted a level of anxiety. It created a energy that made her just feel like, it's gonna take forever and I'm not gonna be able to get this done. So I'll just keep closing the door and walking away from this room. So I happened to be visiting one time and I said, we're gonna take care of this room. And immediately I felt the anxiety on her. Immediately I felt, yeah, what I was sensing was right. The thought of it, just of challenging it. So I went in the room, I got a chair and I sat down. And she said, okay, well, so much to do. I gotta do this, I gotta say, stop. First thing we're going to do is deal with all these bags. What bags you want, what bags you don't want. Nothing else. And I start picking up bags. You want this or you don't want it? Well, I don't know. You want it or you don't. It's a maybe. Okay, so here's a maybe pile. Here's a junk pile. Here's a keep pile. All right? And she said, okay, but now I got the shoe. I said, bags only. For all these shoes, bags only. No shoes, nothing else, just bags. And as we start to clear all the bags out, and all the bags were now moved, and we had ones that were going to Salvation Army, those are going to the garbage, those that she's going to keep, or the maybes. We pushed them aside. Okay, so we're going to deal with the maybes now. If you want to deal with them, fine. If not, we'll move on. I'm not sure yet, but because I kind of like, no, we're not going to do that. Now we're going to go to shoes. And I wouldn't let her focus on it. And literally within a couple of hours, we had that whole room cleared out. And she was so excited. And I said, you allowing the emotion of it to overwhelm you and you can't go forward. Separate each thing at a time Work with one section at a time until we get it right. And we literally went from one thing to another. And she was just so grateful. And she said, "Wow, you made this so simple." I said, "A clear head, quiet emotions, you're going to get way more done than you're going to get running around in panic and worry. It's just not going to work." Thank you for the gifts already that are coming in. Who bears witness with what I'm talking about? Put in the chat. Tell me you with me. Hey Ruth, welcome. Welcome aboard. This kind of stuff works for business. This is the way it is. People's businesses happen and things happen and people just lose their mind and then they can't function anymore. And so what we want to do is we want to get you past that place of thinking about anything from the point of view of worry and emotion. So worrying looks like living in the present, taking each step as it phases you. Not worrying about what if I don't fix this, then this is gonna go wrong, and then all of that. No, just right in the present. What can you fix and what can you handle right in this moment? What can you take care of? Very important stuff. Um, so yeah, living in the present, and that reduces fear. It stabilizes your mood, and it gives you better physical health because most people who get sick with that stuff and worrying and anxiety and all that kind of stuff, I don't need to go into all of that. We'll get more into that, but it affects your physical health when you're going through this kind of thing. This is what deciding to not worry feels like. You start to feel it. It's a feeling, and it's a choice, and you gotta push through it. Um, Not worrying manifests as an improved focus. It releases much muscle tension. You know, you feel that and you get that lump in your neck and your back. It's better for higher quality sleep, and it adds to better relationships. How many people have financial issues or emotional issues, whatever, and they can't keep a relationship, or all relationships fall apart? People that don't manage that peace, that calm, people that don't know how to manage those situations, it usually affects relationships and all. You know, and you raise anxious children. That's a whole different story too, because children feed off of that energy. You got a newborn baby and you really anxious and tense about a lot of things. That child grows up with that tension. You know, I always thought about that when they say kids are scared of spiders and kids are scared of this. I'm like, no, they not. Somebody's fear was passed to them. Somebody's thought of fear of bugs, which I to this day I don't get. You know, somebody's fed that and taught that to the child. That's not something that a child just normally just was born with. Um, so your sleep quality is better, but it also affects your relationships when you stay outside of the realm of worry. Um, so how do you deal with it? What are some of the thought processes? Watch this. Um, you accept uncertainty by taking action instead of remaining in a place of confusion about what you can't decide or what you don't know. Um, a lot of times fear is imaginary, meaning you see the issue in front of you, you start worrying, and then the image of it becomes so big, much bigger than what it is. It starts to lie to you. It starts to create in you a thought of something looming over you that's much bigger. And I know some of you on here, I know everybody here can relate to a time that you were facing something and you thought it was the end of the world, and then you got through it and you sobbed and you went, ah, that wasn't that bad. Right, but in the moment of worry, it it allows it to morph into something bigger in your imagination and in your soul, that you now are creating a burden that's making you sick of something that doesn't even have the power that you thought it had. That's really big. So it's characterized by accepting uncertainty, taking action instead of ruining your moment, and trusting the most feared and unfounded thing. You're trusting the most feared and unfounded thought. Nothing's been proven. It's all in your head. It's all in your mind. Um, Let me know what you're thinking in the chat. Any comments, Mama?
Okay, so
Get
right
up in here
now,
and communicate with me.
Esther just said, yes, sir. Amanda was just saying, hey, everyone, I'm here. She's not feeling well, but she's here to listen.
Come on in and
Um,
listen.
and that's what we got for right now. Yeah.
Hmm. So,
And so we got somebody backup, Sean.
okay.
Welcome back up, Sean. And Alvaro Gonzalez is still with us. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah, pleasure to have you.
Yeah.
And invite some folk. If you think this will help them, get them up in here. Um, yeah, soon. Like I said, the books finished. I finished my books. One, they both got loaded up to Amazon yesterday, I think. Um, Mindset Before Millions, and this is kind of what I'm dealing with right now. Still, with just where your heart and mind needs to be, so that when wealth comes to you, you don't ruin it or destroy the opportunities. And the other one's the Millionaire Playbook, where I walk you through step by step of what I did to reach a seven figure. No, I'm not Scrooge McDuck diving into a pile of money and rolling around, swimming around. That would hurt anyway, to dive into a pile of coins. I think that would kill you. But anyway, or unalive, excuse me. But anyway, um, just like I said, I'm on my way to, you know, next levels, 8 figures, 9 figures, and moving close. And so the books, the going out, the speaking, the talking, this is what I love to do now. I never thought I would do this a couple of years ago. You couldn't even told me I would be on social media, but here I am, thanks to my wife. I pushed her on social media, and she turned around and she pushed me back on social media. So there it is. But it's been helpful to people, and I'm glad that you're here to receive what I have to give. Um, it looks like I see something popping up in the comments, but I don't know if I'm
Well, Amanda just said, I agree with you in what you're saying.
who.
Amanda.
Thank you, Amanda. Well, let's keep going then. So mindset and emotional state. Let's talk about this. This all affects your ability to gain financially, to grow, to mature. All of this is affected. Rather than obsessing over potential failure or failed disasters or past mistakes, the mind is anchored in the here and now. So what does that mean? That means you can't dwell over what you can't fix, that's already behind you. And trust me, that haunts more people than anything else. You may not believe it. I do a lot of counseling, and I'm telling you, people will literally be frozen in time over something that went wrong or that they did wrong, personal, financial, whatever, that you can't fix. The person's not even in your life anymore. That person probably don't even remember you did it. But you know, things like that. And you live with it, you carry it, it has such a weight. And they can't go forward based on what was, right? Or the fear of what will be if they try to go forward. So the issue is what do you have right in front of you right now? You can't eat what's on your plate. You can't cook what's not in your pot. So what's in your plate right now, and learning to kind of zero in, tunnel vision on what needs to be dealt with at the moment. Biggest business people that I've spoken to have said, yeah, you know, you can't get too caught up in what didn't work. You have to keep focusing on what will work. And so my question is, or my statement is not a question, um, how do you focus on the here and now? Is it's a choice. It's all the voices are going to be screaming at you to look ahead and look back, but you can only fix what is presented to you and what sits in front of you at the moment. And if you focus on that and you lock into that, you start to feel better. You'll feel a lot of weight. When as those thoughts come, say, "There's nothing I can do about that. That's past." It's embarrassing, yeah, but it's past. There's nothing I can do about it. I got to go forward. So yeah, the here and now is important, and that demands an emotional resilience. It demands that you decide against all else and all odds to stay focused on what you decided to stay focused on. It sounds simple because it is simple, but we overcomplicate things. We make things way more complicated than what it is. So here's the note I have for emotional resilience. When challenges arise, your response is calm, leading to better problem solving rather than panicking. Your immediate emotion is to panic, and then you switch from that to resolution. How do I fix this? And I'm gonna tell you something that's gonna be helpful for you. It takes the same amount of energy to worry about it, to panic about it, than it takes to sit down and start working on a solution immediately. And in working on solutions immediately, that's where peace and calm comes from. Because creativity releases endorphins in you that bring peace. So when you start immediately saying, okay, how do I fix this? What are some of the things I can do? You can sit and worry for weeks, months. I've seen people do it for years, but even hours. Or you can say, okay, it hit me. I feel all of these emotions, but now let me take this energy and let me focus this energy towards resolution. How do I begin to fix this? Well, I don't have any power to fix it. Nothing? Is there anything you can fix? Well, let's start fixing how I feel about it then, how I see it. Is it the end of my world? No. You've been through rough spots before. You found yourself with your back to the wall before, and yet here you still are, years later, still alive, going through the motions, making everything work. You follow what I'm saying? It's not the end of the road because you hit a snag, and it looks like to you that it's the end of everything. Um, Thank you, Christine, for the
Yeah.
hearts.
Christine just joined your fan club for 3 months.
Thank you, Christine. Appreciate you and welcome aboard. Um, do we know Christine or Christine is
Our
someone?
niece Christine.
Oh, well, duh. Hi, Christine. Well, welcome and thank you for joining the fan club. So I got new family now because I'm a married man.
Hey, Christine.
So, Christine, you can officially call me Unc now for real, okay? Even though you've been already calling me Unc, it's official now. I'm 100% Unc. Um, so yeah, and thank you. Listen, um, like I said, it takes the same amount of energy to panic and worry as it does to start to solve. But what I found about the energy is it usually won't be in both places. So you have to choose at those moments where the energy falls, where the energy goes. And if I make the choice that the energy is in solving the problem, the noise gets quieter around me, the panic and everything else, when I start focusing on repair. You know, this is what peace looks like. We're talking about it, okay? So, well, what about, I don't know what I'm going to do. It's too much stuff. Accepting uncertainty for me has become a comfortable place. That's not an easy thing for everybody, but accepting uncertainty has become a very comfortable place. I said to I love saying this now. I said to my wife, I take comfort in the insecure. I'm secure in the insecurity, knowing that my faith in my God will make it all work out. So I've been in worse places and I've come out. So I know this one too. I'll work this one out with God as well. So, but sometimes it's just that the you know, if you're not a believer, that's you know, that's you. But for me, I am, and I believe that sometimes I just need to the trust in somebody bigger and greater than me to do what I can't do, and sometimes I have to be able to say, I've done all I can. I don't really know what else to do. And then I'll get quiet. And it's something those of you around me hear me say all the time now. And I've been saying it now for almost a year. I don't do anything out of emotion. I wait till my emotions are quiet, good or bad emotions. Happy and excited about it, or sad emotions. I wait till those are quiet before I move, because when your emotions are in charge, you only see one outcome. When you get quiet and you allow your spirit to open up, you start to see all kind of avenues and doors that you didn't even know existed. So I stay in that place. I force myself to stay in that place. So accepting uncertainty is part of it. It's going like, well, I'm not going to know when I start on this. When we got applied for the trademark a months ago, And they told us it's going to take 11 months. I said, well, I got 11 months to finish 5 books. And then they came back and accepted the trademark for You Ready, Let's Grow. They came back and accepted it. What was it, 2 months?
Yeah, like
They
about
said,
two months,
it's
yeah.
been accepted. You got 2 months to get all the books done. We went on a mad dash, me and the Vision Builders team, and we got those books. Like I said, we both of them just got loaded up on Amazon. And I'm going like, this is big because this is an opportunity that forced me to be something and do something that I never had to do before. It forced Dr. Angie Brown to be an editor. She's never been a book editor. She works for the Board of Education. She's a math teacher, but she had to like lock in and become a book editor, and because she's an excellent person. She's a person that's excellent, and she had to sit down and just kind of pound it out. The rest of the team, we all found ourselves having to do stuff we had to do. I had to go in my graphics background and remember my graphics and create book covers and spend some money. Yeah, it became a real thing because at the moment I stepped into something uncertain, wasn't sure how I would do it, and then through the process, day by day, and the team watched me, and the team was encouraged by me, my leadership, that I kept saying, well, I don't know how to do it, but we'll figure it out. Well, I don't know what we're going to do, but we'll figure it out. And we got to the deadline, which was December 28th, and they said, listen, you can either extend it, but once you extend it, you can't extend it again. It got moved to March 28th, and or you could try, and we were trying to really barrel through and knock it out by December 28th. It wasn't realistic. Me and Nelly and I actually got married on December 28th. So it's like we really were pushing. So let's pay the couple of $100, but he said you don't get another extension. So and my lawyer reached out to me recently, like it's March, it's the 28th, and it's like nope, we're ready. We got it together, and thank God, and thank my team, thank the Vision Builders team, thank Lindsay, thank Nelly, thank Esther for popping in and helping us out. Thank Ruth and Sophie. Did I leave anybody out?
You said Angie Edwidge.
Yeah, Edwidge. That's right. I got to put Edwidge in there. Thank you guys. We got in there and we made it happen. And so the book covers got loaded up today. The books got loaded up on Amazon, I think yesterday. Thank you, Lindsay, for all of that. I want to make sure I just give everybody a shout out because now we're ready to go take the world in a whole different way. And this has been a heck of a ride. We got some comments popping in. What we got?
And so Lindsay said, and we will continue to do so.
Okay,
that's right.
What's so? We're gonna continue to do so. What's up? Be more detailed. What else you got?
Right now, that's all we got right now for the comments.
No, I see something from Christine. Welcome to the family.
Okay, oh, sorry. Yeah, welcome to the family. Yeah.
Thank you, Christine. We appreciate that. It's in excellence. Yes, ma'am. There you go. She said 2 more words. In excellence. If this is helpful to you, if what you're hearing so far is helpful to you and a blessing to you, like just jump in the comments and tell me because I like to know that what I'm sharing with you is helpful. These are things that people just overlook because they're always looking for the sensational. But the truth is, God really works in the simplicity. He really shows up in the simple. He says, pray, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added. We overcomplicate everything. Okay, well, we got to pray. I mean, we got to fast hard and fast for 15 days. We just turn everything into labor because we want to feel like we're accomplishing something. But the reality is, it really works in simplicity. Let me know how you're feeling. Thank you, daughter. She says, Dynamic says, very helpful. Yeah, this is a season for that. Like, everything has to be built on peace. Every decision needs to be made on peace. I've learned that a long time ago. Well, let me not say I learned it because that would be a lie. I was taught that a long time ago, but it took me forever to learn that. All decisions are made on peace. Peace is the criteria to make all decisions. And a lot of times in the moment of being hasty to I pick on my Nelly because she was just like always going, and she was saying, you know, it's part of the culture. You know, people in Africa, you know, we get in the salon, they have a baby, they strap the kid to them, they would just work day and night, night and day, and day and night, night and day. And I was like, you work way more than me. Whew, you make me look lazy. You ain't got a tenth in your bank account of what I got. And it's just like it doesn't make any sense because the anxiety, and I throw this in there because this is important because she said that's part of the culture. And I was like, yeah, I know that people usually have backgrounds from Africa and other countries. They come in, that's the culture, work, 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 work. And one day I was praying about it, and God showed me the word cult isn't culture. It's the form of coming up with systems and beliefs that don't align with truth. That's why Christ said, "You men by your traditions have made the word of God of no effect." You, you're always trying to prove something. You're always trying to make something. That's the nature of man. But peace, answers are found in peace. Think about that. When you had to figure out things, is after you finished crying and screaming and yelling and banging your head against the wall, when you got quiet and you got still, is when you found the answers. Now, so even what I'm saying is not all that deeply spiritual. If you want to look at it realistically, it is spiritual. But for those who don't want to see it that way, it's really about saying, watch this and listen close to me. I master my mind. I master my thoughts. I master my feelings. I'm gonna be throwing a lot of scriptures probably tonight. I didn't, you know, I come in here. I know this is not a church service, but I am who I am. There's a scripture that's just coming to mind right now. A man who cannot control his spirit is like a city without walls. Take that one in, right? You have no protections because your emotions are all over the place. So, what does peace look like? What does peace look like? Who's loving what you're hearing? This is important. Get in the chat. Share your agreement, disagreement, whatever it is. Say something. Thank you for tapping the screen. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the likes. But get in the screen and say something. Get on the chat. Say stuff. What we got? I'm Nelly.
Okay, so Amanda said very good. I put yeah, loving this. Esther said, wow. Amen, Amanda and Christine, blessings.
Good stuff. Good stuff. We're gonna learn this because you know people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, and we think people are destroyed because the enemy. No. Usually, the biggest enemy is yourself, right? No, but sometimes the enemy. Yeah. That's tradition. That's cult. Um, the wicked one comes and he finds nothing in me. So if he ain't got nothing to get in you that he can grab, he ain't doing squat. So but like I said, I won't turn it to Sunday service. But let's take it 100. Let's keep it 100, right? And the one that I shared with you recently, Nelly, when you get tired of your oppressor, when you've had enough, you will cast his yoke from your neck. So when you've had enough,
Yes.
you shed it down, right? What verse is that again?
I'm gonna tell you right
It was
now.
Genesis.
Yeah, it was Genesis like 30 something.
40, was it 41 something? When you get tired of the so you fight with sword and wrestle, but when you get tired of your oppressor, you will throw his yoke off your neck. When you've had enough. So okay, I went off on a tangent, but that's to put 2740. Right. Thank you, Genesis 2740. Yeah, I know we shared it Sunday. Right. When you've had enough. Esther, did that speak to you? That because you remember you just spit it right up there. Did that one speak to you? When you had enough is enough, you say, okay, that's it. And that's what God said. Don't keep saying, well, God, when enough is enough, you will put it down.
Yeah.
So anyway, and the same thing with worry and fear and anxiety. When you had enough, you put it down. You put it down. I used to say back in the day before I learned the scripture. She said I was meditating on that today. Yeah, listen. I remember just a long time ago when I got this revelation, and I would say to people, "I don't know what to do. I don't know how I'm gonna handle it. I don't know what to do." And I say, When it costs you enough, you fix it. When it costs you enough, you learn, you make the change. And so I didn't know at the time that that scripture existed. You know, when you get tired of that oppressor, you throw the yoke off your neck. I don't care what it is, financial, emotional, spiritual, whatever. You throw that crap off. Okay. So watch this. Acceptance of uncertainty. Instead of needing to know the outcome, there is a comfort in not having all the answers. I'm gonna read that one again because that's one of the ones that really I want to really drive home. Instead of needing to know the outcome, you find a comfort in not having all the answers. That's cool. Really saying, I don't have all the answers, but I know you do, and I know you got this, and just kind of letting it go. And trusting in that. I'm gonna go to bed. Um, I think it's Psalm 127. Except the Lord build the house,
Yes.
the labor labors in vain. It is foolish to rise up early and go to bed late and eat the bread of anxious toil. For God blesses his beloved even in their sleep. There's times I say, God, I need to go to sleep right now because right now the anxiety is trying to get a grip on me and I'm just going to go take a nap. And I'll take a nap and I'll wake up refreshed and all fresh ideas and all of a sudden everything just makes sense. So yeah, sometimes you need to just like push away from it and go lay down somewhere, you know. It's a process of learning, but once you learn it, boy, it's a beautiful thing. So, um, acceptance of uncertainty, I covered that. Increased joy. Life feels lighter with more room for enjoyment and less mental clutter. All this is the after or the side effect of choosing not to worry. So how do you worry when it comes? Do you worry? I call this part worrying well. That don't make sense. Hear me out. When worries arise, they are managed through tools like structured and limited worry periods or grounding techniques rather than letting them consume the entire day. So when worry comes and something comes at you and you feel it's overwhelming and you can't seem to focus, say to yourself, this is weird. I know, but I'm telling you it works. All right, self. And it's good to talk to yourself. Don't let people tell you something wrong with you. I talk to me all the time. God tells us to talk to inanimate objects. People say, you just got dumb talking about inanimate. He says, say to the mountain, be thou removed. He says, speak healing. He tells you to speak it. Um, but let me not get off. Um, when worries or things come against me that are pressure, and I don't seem to be able to kind of put them down because they're overwhelming my thought process, listen to this. Here's what I do. I'll say to myself, as if I'm talking to myself as on the outside, I'm going to give you 20 minutes with this, and then you're done. I'm going to let you moan and grieve for 10 minutes. That's what you got. And then we got to get to work on solution. Are you hearing me? I'll tell myself, you're not going to sit here and whine and cry and act like a little biatch all day. Excuse me for saying that, but hey, that's the way I talk, and I'm just going to keep it 100. You're not going to be acting like this all day. So go ahead and have your little moment. Get your little thing. Go get your little drink of water. You ready? Okay, now let's get back to work. As I say, let's grow, right? You ready? Let's grow. No, but it fits, right? It's time to get back to work now, okay? Now, what's the solution? You done felt bad for yourself and you done felt sorry for yourself and nobody cares about me and nobody, I'm trying to do this. Okay, I went through all of that, all right? Now, what's the solution? What's the problem we need to solve right now? And I need to get back to work. So, give yourself a short pity party if you're going to have one. Yeah, give yourself a short pity party. Set a little timeline for that. Okay. It says couldn't connect, trying to reconnect now. It kicked off. What happened? Am I still on or did it go off?
You're still on.
Okay, because the screen here is saying can't connect. I don't know what's trying to connect to. Okay, but if you're saying I'm still there, then I'm still there. Let's pray. No, I'm frozen. I can see it right here.
Hmm. Yeah, you're not frozen on my end.
Are you still see me?
Yeah.
Okay, well, when this screen is frozen, and on my screen is frozen, but if y'all can still see me, can you still see me? Let me know. Let me know if you can still see me because my screen is froze. The count is still going. I see the microphone is still registering. Are you still with me? Okay, it popped back up.
Mm-hmm.
Yay. Okay. Um, and where's all my commenters today? Where are you guys? I need you in the chat. I need you making comments. I need you participating here because that helps the algorithm. That helps us, and definitely the hot me's when you do those, but definitely the Go Popular, send those. I know I'm such in the flow today that I went out. She said went out. It was a bit choppy. So we back now. Okay, I need you participating. And she said it's glitching. You're back now. Yay! I'm back. I'm back. I'm blickety black, yo. All right. So here we're good. We're back. Yeah, stay in the comments with me. Keep hope alive. You went out for a minute. Yeah, I know it cut out for a minute, so I was looking at the screen, trying to figure out what was going wrong. Now, Lisa said that it was on for her, but I saw that I was off on my screen, so I stopped talking. So I didn't want you to miss any of the goodies. But thank you for staying in there with me. So we're good now. We're back. Everybody, we're back. We're doing good.
Yes, you're back.
Thank you guys for your coins. Thank you for your gifts. Thank you for your time. This is gonna be some good stuff for you. You're gonna really learn tonight. You're gonna learn today. So yeah, worrying well. So let me get back to this. When worry arises, they are managed through tools like structured limited worry periods or grounding techniques. Find things that help you refine your center. If it's counting and taking deep breaths, if it's, to me, I remember I used to, when I would work in my office, I always kept a TV in the room. When things would get really, really tense, I would put on cartoons and I would watch an episode of a cartoon. And that may not work for other people, but it worked for me. But SpongeBob has got me through a lot of stuff. I would put on a SpongeBob episode and I would watch that, and it's something silly to make me laugh. And now I have my daughter's turned me on to Brooke and Jeffrey, and I'll go listen to one of their second date updates or one of their pranks and get a good laugh at how dumb people can be, and then I'll come back and I'll get back to work. You find a grounding technique rather than letting them consume your entire day. Don't let any problem take over your day. Listen to me close. Don't let any problem take over your full day. Nothing deserves that much time. That energy that you're using to soak and feel sorry for yourself, you need to use that to get back to solution, problem solving techniques. That's the key. Can you do that? It's training. Yes, you can. It may take a moment, but it's training. It's a process. You have to do it. You have to teach yourself it. Once you learn it, see, you learned how to whine. You learned how to feel sorry for yourself. These are techniques that somebody taught you. This is something that life taught you. This is something that people around you did, and you found it to be the thing. But now you have new techniques. I'm giving you new techniques. And once you train with those techniques, they'll become yours and nobody can take them. You will automatically, naturally in your mind say, oh, I feel bad, I feel this, I feel that. Okay, what's the solution? I need to get back to work now. I got to get this done. And you'll just find yourself naturally jumping back in on the game. What you thinking about what I'm saying, Mama?
This is really still processing it, but wow.
Can you hear her over there? Because she's all the way over there. But yes. deal with it. Give it a time period. I can stay on this one point for a long time, but I won't. But worrying well, give it a time, give it a moment, get back to work. Were you going to say something else?
Well, yeah, I mean, I was gathering my thoughts together, but uh, like like I like the way how you just saying you know if you find yourself there, like just jump off of that. Sometimes it could be like a habit that we have and or we could have, and then it's something that could linger. And what you're saying is, don't let it linger. That's when it's not good, and then it can turn into other things. But get it and take a look at it, analyze it, and then get out uh, and move forward. Because those type of things can turn to a negative attitude. It can turn to depression. It can turn to something south if you sit there and ponder and ponder and ponder. um, and so I'm glad you're doing this, because I wanted to know for myself, having been doing that for so long, what do I do to not do that? You don't know how to do the right thing. You have to learn how to do the right thing so you don't keep doing what you've been doing that was so comfortable to you. So I thank you for going over this.
So good stuff. That's powerful, babe. Um, Amanda put very well. That spoke for you. Good. Um, it's spent energy. You're going to spend the energy. Listen close to what I'm saying. This is part of worry well. You're going to spend the energy, so choose where you're going to spend it.
That's good.
You're going to spend it worrying, you're going to spend it sobbing, you're going to spend it soaking, you're going to spend it depressed, you're going to spend it upset, you're going to spend it all kind of things, throwing stuff against the wall. So choose where you're going to spend the energy. Well, sometimes I can be an anxious person. Okay, then like I said, give yourself a timeout. Give yourself, when you got a 15-minute pity party. You don't get to go past it. I don't know what the time is for you. You got to figure that out. But I've said to myself, you got 5 minutes. And sometimes after the 5 minutes, I was like, all right, I'll give you one, I'll give you another 5. But after that, we're not playing. But even in doing that, listen to what I'm saying to you. Even in doing that to yourself, you're telling yourself there's an ending that has to happen, where you could go on and feel sorry for yourself for the next days, months, years. But if you say to yourself, okay, you got this time, but after an hour, I still felt like I was still going through something. Okay, then tell yourself you got another 15 minutes. But by doing that, you're directing yourself emotionally, mentally. You're saying to yourself, you have a stop point. So that stop point is in your mind. Do you understand what I'm saying? What I'm saying is simple, but it's powerful right here. You're telling yourself that there is a stop point. Where before it would just roam free and roam all through the wilderness and sit around and load a bar for 50 years. You're telling yourself, no, this stops after a certain point. And just because that's planted in your mind, you're feeling the decrease of that worry, that anxiety having a grip on you, because you already know there needs to be an end. And so you've planted it. I'm just sharing with you what I do. If it don't work for you, it don't. But I'm telling you, these are processes and practices.
Dynamic said, I want to spend my energy solving.
Come on, baby. Yeah.
Yeah. Esther said, you're going to spend the energy, so choose where you're going to spend it. That's good. That's good. I'm gonna do that. That's what Esther said.
Yeah. Well, yeah, good. And thank you for getting in the comments. Because what I'm giving you is powerful stuff. This is powerful. It's like we live our lives like our minds have control over us, or our emotions have control over us. They only do because we've allowed them to. You get to a place where you start to get up there in age like me, where you go like, screw this. Like, I can't be living the rest of my life. I got stuff to do. And I don't know how much time I got left on this planet. I ain't got time to play these games with other people and their little emotional games, and they choosing to live in their emotions and keep playing their game. I don't have time for that. I got stuff to solve. I got solutions to come up with. I got things to do. So I have to say to myself, my spent energy My spent energy is going to be on winning. And that's why this series is called, Guard the Win. You got to protect your win. When you get that win, people gonna come, situations gonna come, circumstances gonna come to try to steal that win from you. You got to protect that win. That's your win. Yeah, but they did this and that. But did you give it to them? Did you let them have it? Yeah, because I was so tired of it. Oh, well, then you made the choice. Now, even that, stop whining, decide I'm either going to take it back or I'm going to get another one and I'm going to do better this time. And next time you come next to it, I'm going to take your head off. It's all in the spirit. It's in the mind. It's you have to spend that energy wisely. You're going to choose. You're going to learn today. That was good, boy. I stay hard on worrying well, but that one for me, like that, just that process was like, yes. So watch this. Physical and behavioral changes. Physical and behavioral changes. Now I dealt with the mental, I dealt with the emotional, but now I'm going to deal with the physical and behavioral changes. And I touched on some of them through the process, but let's poke a couple apart. Physical ease. When you make that decision, that's it. You got 10 minutes. We're going to come on out of this now and get back to work. Your muscles relax, your headaches decrease, your overall physical well-being improves. My trainer is he's a taekwondo, very mental, emotional, not emotional, but mental, because I have to always bring him down emotionally, but mental, like, take care of your physique. Like, you can't be in here jumping around tossing weights and let me see you bench this. He said, dude, you're almost 70. You can't go crazy like that. You gotta take care of yourself. Yeah. So he has me do exercises that are more kind of Tai Chi like, but man, you finish them and like, man, I'm just taking a stick and moving it around and going over my head. And everything in me is aching. Like, I didn't even realize I had muscles back there. But the one thing he always says is, like, when I come in, he'll come in the first thing before he does anything. He'll touch my shoulders and say, "That's all that you carrying up in here. You all tight, you all stiff in here." And he'll get the massage gun and start massaging my neck and loosen, like, lift some weights and stuff. Yeah, we got to get these kinks out. And so he's realizing you can't even have a good workout and affect the muscles that you want to affect with all of this all up in you. So no, we need to do. So today we went there. I went there today, and I wasn't stressed or anything. But he was like, I was tense. I went roller skating Sunday night, and I kind of went in and I'm stiff. And he was like, we're gonna just do if you're familiar with the cupping, we're gonna do the cupping on you, and we're going, this, and then we're gonna give you some workout. But he spent like 40 minutes of the hour having me go through that, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. But afterward, I came out and I felt, yeah, see, I had to release that. So worry has an effect on your physical and your emotional and the stuff it can do. You hear the stories. I'm not a doctor. What the stress can do to your insides, to your stomach lining. People believe cancers are related to a bunch of stress and anxiety. So choosing these worrying techniques that I'm sharing with you, muscles relax, headaches decrease, for sure. Babe, you know that for a fact.
Yes. Yeah.
And your overall physical well-being improves. So I want to say this gently. I'm gonna tiptoe around this. So I left my last marriage in 2020. Actually went through and did the papers in 2022, I think it was. But everybody said, and I don't mean this in trying to be mean or nothing, everybody said to me, you look 20 years younger. Everybody said it to me. I mean, literally people that didn't even know each other straight, and they always pick the same number. You look 20 years younger. You, yo, you, and I said, wow, they just keep saying 20. And then I started looking at my old pictures. I was like, dang, I don't even like the same person because there was so much in my face. And boy, I was a hard worker. I was accomplished. I was getting things done. Don't get it twisted. But there was, you could see like there was, in my pictures, I didn't even smile. I looked at my pictures. If I did smile, I did that. But it was in a glow in my eyes and everything people saw. And I was like, because my well-being is at peace right now. You know, I feel different. I feel better about life. Like I look outside now, and the water's bluer, and the sky's bluer, and the grass is greener, and the air feels fresher. Well, nothing may have changed around me, but what was inside of me changed. And as a result of that, I could take things in different. I was able to treat people different because people kept saying to me, and my daughter is on there, and she'll tell you, you calmer, you're a better dad, you're a better person, you're a better father, like you're more understanding, you know, and it's like, cause changing that environment, removing all that worry and stress and all that stuff that I was living with, changed my physical well-being. It literally changed me. It restored to me. My daughter said, "You smile with your heart again," and I love that for all of us. Right? See, that's what she said. You, daddy, you smile with your heart. Like you're right. Because before I would just smile with my teeth, and I would laugh if something was funny, but there wasn't joy because I carried so much, and so worry ages you. I see people that's not my age and they're already, you know, scrunched up, and their body's already starting to, you know, compress in on itself. Um, I'm 19 years older than Nelly. I'm more fit than Nelly is. I'll take her anything. You know what I'm saying? But do you disagree with me?
No.
But I, you know, because it's like all of that junk off of me is allowing me to be alive. And now that she's starting to release all of that stuff off of her, she's starting to look younger. I have her look at some of her old pictures. I say, you look way better now than you did 10 years ago. Like way better. You glow. People see and say, wow, you're so beautiful, you glow. Because as she's learning to release and expel that crap, her youth is being restored. It drowns out the light. Worry drowns out the light of your countenance. Ooh, we'll make a note of that. Well, it's already in here. Worry drowns out the light of your countenance. It blocks your shine. So, physical ease, muscles relax, headaches decrease, overall physical well-being improves. God, I'm living witness to that. Improved sleep. Oh boy. Mind shuts down easier at night, resulting in better quality, more consistent sleep. I will tell you this as a fact. I never slept full nights. I remember, especially after I moved out, I remember never making it through a night. I would sleep for a few hours. I would wake up. I would stay up for 4 or 5 hours, and then I would go back to sleep again. And then I would sleep to 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, and I would always wake up totally unrested because I never got a full night's sleep. I remember when I finally got a full night's sleep, and it was like a celebration. It was like, wow, I slept until the morning. I didn't wake up till the alarm went off at 8. That's crazy. Imagine that, being excited that I was able to sleep through the night, but it was all due to pushing worry away or putting worry in its place. What's going on, Devon? Good to see you. Yeah, so for me, you know, all that stuff kicked in. Sleeping better, eating better with Nelly. Nelly got me eating better, but eating better, sleeping better, just function. So my sleep was better. My mind, I could go to bed, and you know, a lot of time what won't let you sleep as you go to bed because you got all these worries on your mind, right? You got all these things on your mind. So I go to bed and I lay there in the bed and just ponder that mess and then carry it into your dreams. Now I'm like, no, no, you out. When I'm going to bed, I'm going to bed to rest. When Scripture says, I think it's in Proverbs 8, when you lay down, you should not fear, for your sleep will be sweet. I started claiming my sleep to be sweet. I'm like, no, when I go to sleep, I want my sleep to be relaxed. I don't want all this tension in my sleep, and then you wake up in the morning, it's still sitting on you. Why can't I control that? Yes. We covered some of that already. Yes, you have to put worry in its box. You got to cast it out. Proactive action. Instead of worrying, the focus shifts to taking concrete steps towards your goals. I covered that already. Even if they're small, that's the part that I have here that I want to make sure you say. Even if you don't think like you can deal with all of it, any step toward improving it, putting down worry and taking steps toward your goals, your business, your plans, your family, your dream, your relationship, your marriage, anything that it is that you feel like that needs to happen in, little steps. And this is not the same, but it's the same because it's about business. When we were told that we had to get 4 books done in 3 months, or no, it was 2 months at the time.
Yeah, it was 2 months.
2 months.
Yeah.
Like that was overwhelming, but we just stopped knocking it down a little bit, until now, we were able to post the books up. Done. Covers everything. I'm having a sensational moment right now inside myself because of accomplishment. I haven't sold a book yet, but man, I'm feeling good about the accomplishment. So instead of worrying, focus on shifts and shift your focus. Focus on shift and shift your focus to taking concrete steps towards your goals, even if they're little steps. Just start knocking them down one by one. And last but not least, and then I'll open up the chat for anybody want to jump in. Nelly, you're the beneficiary of this one too. Mm-hmm. Better relationships, interpersonal and lifestyle changes, better relationships, less irritability and less tension leads to improved and more patient interactions with others. My daughter said, I smile with my heart. Everybody who works with me says, wow, you're way more patient. Well, removing worry, removing stress, taking the things out of your life, sometimes people, because if you're trying to go forward and live a worry-free life and you got a person around you that they just love to worry and love to complain and love to point out problems and love to tell you how hard stuff is, that person is, evil. Be not deceived. Evil communication corrupts good manners. You can't keep that around you and not become a victim to that. So you have to say, by the way, is there anybody on YouTube? It looks like there's 3 people in there.
Yeah, so, but I didn't see them commenting, but yes, we do have 3 people on there.
Okay, well, to the 3 people on YouTube, love and welcome. And, I don't want to, ignore you. You're important too. Definitely, if you want to get in the chat, you'll have to jump on over to the top. But welcome and thank you for sitting in and listening. And I hope that what I'm sharing with you is going to make a big difference in your life and make a major change. So let me just finish this final point again. This is a great live. Thank you for sharing. You're welcome, Esther. It's a pleasure to do this. I live for this.
Yeah.
And I couldn't have done this where I was before when you met me. So, sometimes you got to make drastic changes. Interpersonal and lifestyle changes, again, it creates living free from that worry, creates better relationships, less irritability and tension, and it leads to improved and more patient interactions with others. That's it. I'll If anybody wants to jump in the room now, I'll give you that opportunity. This was a great one.
Yeah.
This was a great one. I hope you got some stuff. So I'll just give everybody a chance. And if you want to come in, come in. If you don't, you don't. It's up to you.
Mm.
And we're in. No acceptings? Any acceptings? Anybody coming in? Or request yourself. I requested you, but you can request yourself. If that was it and you got what you need for the night, then I'm good with that too. Tell me how you're feeling. Tell me what you're saying. Or say something in the comments. Say something to me. Let me know. Let me know how you're feeling. I love teaching and I love sharing and I love helping other people. What's this? Is it LK Lubin?
Yeah.
Is that Mitch or somebody
I don't
else?
know if that's I don't think.
Go to the page, find out. Do your research.
Okay.
Anyway, I can't support, I can't speak, but you can listen. Well, thank you because you're still at work. Well, I appreciate you. See, I need to hear it all again. It's right on time. Okay, well, we're gonna get the clips up, and we're gonna have the whole live on YouTube. The whole live will be on YouTube immediately. So yeah, it's there for you. I didn't realize the computer was blocking the screen a little bit. It's all good. Yeah, so the whole thing will be up there. I want to thank everybody for the Go Populars. I want to thank you for sharing. Sharing is caring. Um, this is good. This is good stuff.
Yeah, it's not Lubin, it's someone else.
Okay. Well, anyway, welcome. And thank you for popping in and popping on. And I think we had a good night's worth of teaching. And I hope you got what you needed. I hope you're a better person for it. Worry doesn't have control over you. It's not your master. It doesn't control you. It's for people now in looks like
in YouTube.
Worry is not your master. It's not control over you. It doesn't have control over you. You choose. You choose. And this is gonna all be in my upcoming book. Guard the wind. We gotta protect our wind at all costs. So let's get ready. We got some good, powerful points tonight. And now you ready to go and take on the world. What is this popping up on my screen? Okay, something else popped up on my screen. I'm still here, right?
Yeah.
There's somebody just made a whole statement on YouTube. Can you read it?
Okay, hold on a second. Let me see. All right. Oh, yeah, it's up to 18 views already.
But there's comments. I'm seeing comments pop up.
Oh, I see a Mommy Dog 777. I just stumbled upon your live video. I have not had the opportunity to watch any of your videos, and I'm not familiar with your channel. May God bless you and your family. May He continue to bless you. Her name is Mommy Dove 77.
Thank you, Mommy Dove 77. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Appreciate the love and appreciate you popping in on us. This is what we're here to do. Try to help everybody sort through this thing called life, and get the fullness out of it that God intended for us to get out of it. It's not about trying to be religious or push religion down people's throat. It's giving people the opportunity to have a relationship and know the truth. And you know the truth, and the truth will make you free. And even though I'm wrapping up, I will say this because I would like to, deal with it again because I just had to walk through it with my wife. she said, "You know the truth will set you free." And I said, "That's not what the scripture says. It says make you free." And if you look it up in the Greek, because the New Testament's in Greek, we got more stuff popping up in the TikTok. I mean in the tube. But it doesn't say set you free. It says make you free. And this, they're not synonyms. Make and set are not the same. Make you free. Set you free means you're caged, you're locked up, and you're bound, and somebody has to come and let you out. So the truth will make you free. It's awareness. It gives you the insight that you're already free and you begin to live in it. And there's a difference. The difference between knowing that you're free and just walking it out and then trying to be set free from a prison that you're no longer in. It's crazy work. Like, I don't understand how, people walk around in bondage that doesn't exist except for inside. And that's why I dealt with this very subject, because it creates a belief that something exists. I'll use this before I go. I've heard this say before, so I don't take credit for it. The acronym FEAR, force reality appearing real. Force evidence. What's it?
Fear.
False
Evidence appearing real.
False evidence appearing real. And it's usually what it is. It's mental prison. It's usually the outside doesn't usually match what's going on the inside. And once you come to that reality and you start to deal with it, you can put things down a lot faster than you think you can. And so let's take this journey together. Let's walk this out. We're learning together. We're growing together. I have a son that would say to me, I realized something. He said, I realized, Pop, we're on the same track. We're running the same track. You just been around it a few times, but we're running the same track. I said, I love that analogy. That's a good analogy. I'm not greater than you. I'm not better than you. I'm not smarter than you. It's just I've taken some trips around this track a few times, and I know where the holes are. And if I can help you avoid them, we're doing good. I'm gonna say good night. I want to thank you guys for coming in. We had a fuller room than usual, and it's gonna get fuller because sooner or later I'm gonna be everywhere, speaking everywhere, traveling everywhere, and but I'll still be available for you guys. I'll still pop in here. Of course, the room is gonna have a lot more people, but that's gonna happen, and it's that time, and I know that, and so I'm ready for it. You ready? Let's grow. See you on Thursday. Good night, fam. Love you.